Hi everyone, so I thought I'd do a holiday post. So flight essentials plus a beach essential list as well. So I'm going to go through bits that I use before flight and on holiday, and I'll show you different options as well that you could use and will come in handy for you. So normally I don't like to wear too much of makeup before I go into a flight. I'm just going to keep it really simple, and I would normally use just a concealer. So after I moisturize my skin and put a primer on, I would put some concealer on my eyes. I would normally mix it into my eye cream. Really important to use an eye cream before flight or every day really, but especially more so on a flight because your eye area will get really dry because there's no moisture glands there, and especially because the flight's really dehydrating on your skin. So I would normally use eye cream, concealer mixed together, or if you don't want to use a concealer, you can just use the eye cream on its own. And then I will just dust some powder lightly on my skin. This is Studio Fix by MAC. It's a foundation powder. You can use it really lightly with a brush, or if you want a heavier coverage, use it with a sponge. I normally just dust a light layer on with a brush. And I also use a lip balm. My lips tend to really dry out on a flight, so this is a Clarins one. It's really hydrating on the lips because it's got rose wax in there, so it doesn't feel sticky, greasy, but if your lips were the driest, this is the best one. So I would use that as my basic makeup routine, and I also tend to use a waterproof mascara. I find my eyes tend to kind of water a lot, so waterproof mascara is essential. And also if your skin tends to be slightly drier, I would put quite a heavy moisturizer on before I go, or even use a night cream because it'll be richer than your normal day cream. You can get little pots like these from Christmas sets, or what I tend to do is if I get any samples from a makeup counter, if I've bought stuff, I tend to keep the little sample pots aside for holidays because you can take them, the small ones, in your flight bag. So this is an Estee Lauder Nightwear Plus one with antioxidants in there, so really good for protecting the skin. And if you don't have one of those sample pots or tester pots that you get from a makeup counter, you can just decant a little bit of your own into a pot that you can buy in your local Boots store or anything like that. And I also take with me a vial of perfume. It's just a tiny one. These are free samples that you can get if there's a new launch, or you know, if you've bought a perfume and they've got some samples, just ask on one of the makeup counters if they've got any of these that you can have. And what I normally tend to do before I get off a flight, especially if it's been a long overnight flight, your skin will tend to be a bit drier, a bit tight, a bit pulling. I would normally take a bit of my Advanced Night Repair Serum by Estee Lauder. Obviously not this size. I normally decant this into a tiny bottle, or if you can get a sachet version of it, that'll be handy. Just kind of put a pump into your hand and press it into the skin, so it won't move your makeup at all, but it will just kind of hydrate the skin and make it look a bit more alive, and then you can put any other makeup on top of that. If your skin was drier and you didn't want to use a serum, you can press a tiny bit of your moisturizer into your skin, and then top it up with whatever makeup you wanted to before you get off the flight. So for drier skin types, I would say use a tinted moisturizer, so nothing too heavy, but it will just kind of give you a bit of coverage and a bit of moisture as well. Drier skin types, oily skin types, I would normally use some matte blotting papers just to absorb any shine into the skin before you put any makeup on. Otherwise it's going to go on too heavy and a bit patchy as well. So I would normally blot with this, and then before I get off the flight, I would normally just dust a tiny bit of powder, the same that I use in the morning. I find when I'm on a flight and I want to before I get off, I normally find that a nice bright colour lipstick will get you kind of in the holiday mood and you're kind of ready to get off and go to your destination. This is Clinique Chubby Sticks. They're really good at moisturising the lips and keeping them hydrated, and they're a really good range of colours as well. So this is an intense version, so it's a bit more in-depth colour, but they do normal versions as well, which is a bit more natural in colour, so your preference. I will show you this one. This one's called Grandest Grape, and it's kind of like a brightish pinky purple. You can see that. So quite nice, like lift me up colour before you get off the flight, just to make you feel a bit brighter and ready. So those are my flight essentials. I will put them in my bag. So you will get a bag like this to put all your liquids in. I normally just take a few from the airport whenever I go, so I can keep some at home with me. So, you know, you can pack your bits earlier, and so you know how much space they're going to take as well. So all liquids in there. You can do the concealer trick with your concealer and eye cream as well before you get off, just to kind of hydrate around the eye area. And these are my liquids in my bag. And I would also take hand sanitizer. Flights can be a bit unhygienic. And so these are my liquids, flight bag. And I would also take some wet wipes with me, just to kind of refresh yourself, wipe off any makeup after you've touched up, and just generally cleaning. My matte blotting papers, powder, and also a makeup brush. So these are retractable ones. You can get all different kinds of ones, but those are the bits that I would take on a flight with me, makeup wise. And then, you know, you've got your passport, sunglasses, things like that. So just move these to one side. And so on holiday, I know a lot of people don't wear makeup on the beach, by the pool, but some people like to, including me. And also some people are a bit self-conscious if they've got, you know, not great skin, or they've got scarring and things like that. So what I would normally do is put my sun cream on, get ones suited for your skin type. And also use a good factor on your face as well. So even though I'm darker skin, I still use a factor 30 or even a 50 sometimes. And I know it can be a bit greasy on oilier skin types, but they do mattifying ones now as well. So this is a Vichy one, and it's really good because it doesn't leave that greasy oily residue on your skin after you've put it on. I would also use an eye cream with a sun protector in there. So you can get normal ones with a high SPF in, but this is just an everyday one that I would use just to protect the delicate eye area. Don't use your normal sun cream around the eye area because it'll just be too heavy for the skin around there. And if you want to wear makeup on the beach, by the pool, this is a really good product to use. It's Estee Lauder's Double Wear Maximum Cover. It's got SPF 35 in as well, so you can use it as a concealer around your eye areas on any blemishes that you might have, or even covers scarring and tattoos as well. It's waterproof, so really good for holiday if you want some coverage. It is quite heavy and quite thick, so I would use it more as a concealer or a certain area cover up rather than an all over base, but up to you. And they do a few colours in these, so if you get colour matched, make sure you get the right colour because the coverage of it's quite heavy, but waterproof. I know some people are obsessed with brows, and so am I. So I normally use this MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Brow Set. So you can fill in your brows as normal with a pencil, or just use this on its own. It sets quite quickly, so it's got a tiny brush on it. So you can just kind of comb your brows into shape, and it will just set. And even if you go swimming, it's not going to come off. So, you know, not going to have half a brow as soon as you get out of the pool. I know some people like to wear eyeliner on the beach and they feel a bit bare without it. So I would recommend this Chanel Stylo waterproof eyeliner. It comes in a range of colours. This is a kind of greeny colour, so I feel sometimes black can be too harsh for during the day, especially on holiday. So this is a kind of colour that it would come out. I don't know if you can see that on there. And I would use my waterproof mascara again from the Flight Essentials. I also take with me in my beach bag SPF 15 hand cream. You can get higher SPFs as well, but your hands will tend to be really dry, and it needs protection as well. So don't forget about that. So always, sun cream, face, body and hands, because that's where your skin will start showing signs of aging the most. And on my lips, I normally use this number 7 BB Lips Balm. So I've got it on now. It comes in a range of colours. It's got SPF 15 in as well, so really good for protecting the lips. And really nice and moisturising at the same time. So if you just want a hint of colour, if you're obviously not wearing too much makeup around the pool, beach, walking around, this is just like a pick-me-up colour that you could use. And this one's called Geranium. And Bobbi Brown do a moisture-rich lipstick as well. They do a range with loads of colours on, and this has got an SPF 12 in. So if you want something a bit longer wearing, this would probably be better for you. And the colour of that, I will show you, is Guava number 1. So I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so those are my beach poolside bits. If you're going kind of on a holiday in the UK or somewhere that's not as hot, or if you're not sunbathing the whole day and you don't need a proper sun cream on, I found that this MAC Prep and Prime product, it's got SPF 50 on there, is really good. I use this every day as a normal primer. It's not greasy at all, so all skin types can use this. I normally put this on before my makeup, so on holiday if I'm not sunbathing, this would be the product I would put on my face just to walk around, and if the sun's not that strong. And then I would also use my MAC Studio Finish Concealer. It's got SPF 35 in as well, so it gives you extra protection around the delicate eye area. And then I would just use my blotting powder. So it comes in a few colours. So what it would do, you can blot your skin with the powder puff that it comes with on there, so just kind of take away any shine. There's no colour to it, so you won't feel like you're putting any makeup on, or you're getting kind of streaky bits of colour on there. Or you can take one of your brushes and just kind of dust it on if you want a more natural finish, and it will just kind of absorb any shine on the skin, especially if it's hot and humid. So those are my holiday essentials. Feel free to message me if you've got any questions, and thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.